Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Horse Guy Mike podcast, covering the Breeders' Cup 2022 from Keeneland. I'm your host, Horse Guy Mike. Joining with me tonight, my good friend, Johnny the Wire, and also my other good friend, Mr. White Wine Weather himself, Andrew Herco. Andrew, how are you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be back on the podcast. I've taken an unofficial break from the podcast in a silent protest for Bob Baffert. I stand with Bob. He did no wrong, and I'm glad to be back on the podcast. And me and Bob are going to make some money at the Breeders' Cup.
John, do you have a rebuttal?
Do I have a rebuttal? God damn it. I wish. I guess let's just get through it. And I hate to say it, I'm picking a Bob Baffert horse today, too.
Let's go.
I hate to say it, but there's one horse on the card that I think is an absolute lock on Saturday, and it happens to be trained by Bob Baffert.
Ooh.
As much as I hate to admit that.
All right, it's 28.
But I am wearing my Breeders' Cup shirt from last year. I was there last year, had a great time at Del Mar. Now we're back at Keeneland. Yeah, let's have a great Saturday.
All right, we got a lot of races to cover, so let's make it fast. We're going to start race 3. We got the filly and mare sprint. They're going 7 furlongs on the dirt. Favoritism on the number 8 horse, Goodnight Olive at 3-1. John, I know you're a big fan of filly and mare sprinting. Goodnight Olive's your girl.
I am.
Where'd you land?
Goodnight Olive is not my girl. My girl is actually Cece, because when I went to the Breeders' Cup last year, this is always the first race on the Breeders' Cup card. And guess who I bet on last year? Cece, and she beat Gamine in a pretty big upset. So I'm going to use Cece again. She's not my top pick, though. We can talk about my top pick a little later, but I think you have the defending champion in here. I wanted to point out Cece has actually had the exact same path that she had last year. Trainer Michael McCarthy. He sent her to the Princess Rooney at Gulfstream Park in July. She won, and then she goes to the Ballerina at Saratoga. She lost. And then she goes to the Chillingworth at Santa Anita. She won. She had that exact same pattern this year and last year, the same placings all the way through. Last year, she won the filly and mare sprint. So this year, I think there's absolutely no way you leave her off your ticket. Cece is an absolute play. Not a lock to win, but a play.
All right.
What are her odds, by the way? I don't know.
Cece's 4-1, second choice.
4-1.
Solid.
All right. Andrew, who is your top choice in this race?
I can't stop looking at this 107 from the favorite, Campanelle. It's just staring.
Wrong race.
It's the wrong race. It's the wrong race.
Wait, what?
We're in race 3.
What did I say?
You said Campanelle.
Oh, that's right.
You're doing the turf sprint.
I meant Goodnight Olive. Still a 107. Still in the 8th spot. Still just won a G1. Goodnight Olive. Irad on board.
102 buyer. Sorry.
It's all right.
He's 107 on what I'm looking at right now. And 102 on that thing.
I don't know.
Oh, are you on Brisnet? You might be on a different speed figure. Never mind.
I'm on Brisnet.
Okay. So John, who was you said you Cece was not your top choice. Who's your top choice here?
Okay, so top choice, I'm actually going to start. Last year, I started with CC. She was, what was she when she won? She was 6-1, so it was a little bit of a price to start your day. Felt great. And then I lost every other race for the rest of the day. That didn't feel great. So, but I'm going to try to do the same thing this year. I'm going to go with Slammed on the inside rail, number 1. She's a New Mexico bred. She's coming off a 6-length win at Keeneland in the TCA grade 2 with a 99 buyer. So her buyer's right there, 3 buyer points behind Goodnight Olive. So she's just maybe a half step slower right now, but she's 4 years old. She's improving. So if she makes another jump up into that mid 100s buyer, I think she could absolutely win. And the thing I really love about her is that she is a total front running filly. And when she gets on like a 1-length lead, a 2-length lead, she does not come back to the field. She keeps pouring it on. And you got to love that type of race when you're on the rail in a sprint. So I think if Slam can get out of the gate, get early position, I think she can hold off this entire field. And I know she's got to be a double-digit price, right?
She is 15-1.
Speaking of front running
Boom.
fillies, they're just hitting home runs after home runs right now.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good
Front
alley-oop
running
right there.
Phillies.
Boom.
Little World Series joke.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give my top choice. I really wanted to pick Echo Zulu, but I don't like that 13 spot for her. She's facing really experienced olders for the first time. Outside, don't love it. So I'm gonna choose Frank's Rockette 6-1 out of the 5. One of the big reasons is the distance. You know, she just won at 7 furlongs. Had a huge buyer speed figure there. Won it comfortably too. I think she won how much?
104 Buyer. She won by 6 lengths.
Yeah, and I know it was at Charlestown.
Got it right.
But you know, it's a good race. She's experienced. She's been, you know, battling with the best of the best all year. Bunch of seconds. She finally got that big win last out. She lost to Kamari, who's not in this race. She lost to Bella Sophia, who's not in this race. I think this is her chance to break off and make a name for herself. So yeah, I think she's in perfect form. Distance, it won't be a problem. She's out of Into Mischief. I think Frank's Rockette is going to be my top choice here, 6-1.
Yeah, I love the another angle I want to talk about now because it's going to be part of my other picks is when a filly turns 5, she becomes a mare, and a lot of times you'll see female horses make even a better jump when they turn 5 years old, which is a little bit older than, you know, the colts. You know, they're at their best from 3 to 4. I think the fillies and mares are at their best from 4 to 5, and you kind of see that with Frank's Rockette. Like once she turned 5 years old, like she's had 3 straight triple-digit buyers, and she never did that in her past. So you can just see on the speed figures, like she's a better horse than she ever has been. I think that's a great pick, Mike. She was going to be also on my ticket. I think Frank's Rockette has a big chance to possibly sit right outside of Slammed, and if Slammed doesn't like the pressure on her, Frank's Rockette might get that first jump to go home and get it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and you know, I'd love to see Echo Zulu do something. I don't think it's going to happen this race. I can see her hitting the board, but I think she's just going to waste way too much energy trying to get to the front from that outside post. Luckily, it is a long run up because they have a chute. So the 7 furlongs will have a long straightaway, so plenty of time for her to get over. I just think there's going to be too much traffic, too many other good horses going. Next year is going to be her year. But that's all I have to say about this race. Anything else you guys want to add about the filly and mare sprint? All right.
We see it pretty much the same. I think Echo Zulu on the far outside got a really bad post and just going to toss her, move on.
All right. Next up, we have the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. We got a big favorite here. Who are you?
Golden Pal?
Yeah.
What's his odds?
Spoiler alert, I'm going with Golden Pal at 2-1. I don't care. There's 15 horses in this race. I'm kicking it off. Golden Pal, easy single, 3 years in a row, winning the Breeders' Cup. Wesley Ward in Keeneland with this all-star. Like, I didn't even look at any other horses. I did, but I'm just kidding. But you know, I'll pass it off to you and see what your thoughts are. Andrew, go ahead.
Why do you like Golden Pal so much? I'm looking at this 3-eyed Raven brand right now. 108 speed last time out. Why not him, Mike? Tell me about him.
You know, and you're looking at Brisnet numbers. I'm looking at Buyer. Brand got a 101 Buyer last out, 93 before that. And that was at Kentucky Downs. Horses coming out of Kentucky Downs with their last race don't do well at the Breeders' Cup. I want to say it's like 0 for 25 out of like horses that race last at Kentucky Downs entering the Breeders' Cup. It's just such a strange track that form just doesn't translate to there. You get random horses that are like 17-1 who win and then never win again. And horses who are like 2 to 5 favorites can't win there.
It's more like a European style track, Kentucky Downs. It's like they start on a big hill and then they go down and around like one time. It's not like your regular like oval.
I did we were talking about race 3. I mentioned Campanelle. I had Campanelle circled this race. Wesley Ward, Ditorio. some pretty good speed figs. Has raced in a G1, won a G3 last time. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Campanelle's fine. Frankie Dettori, Wesley Ward. I just think Wesley Ward knows Golden Pal's his golden goose.
Mhm.
He'll throw
Does
some
he?
other horse.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he does. Again, and that's Campanelle is also coming out of Kentucky Downs, which I don't support that for him.
Sorry, I'm going Golden Pal.
All right. Well, Mike, you kicked it off, but I hate to tell you, you kicked it off. I'm throwing the flag. You kicked it off out of bounds. Golden Pal is not going to win this race, and let me tell you why. It's right here in the form. So Golden Pal, his last 2 races, he won a grade 3 and a grade 2. Both times his lead was diminishing. Like, he's not finishing off races like he did in his youth. He's at the end of his career. This is going to be his last career race. He's 4 years old. Obviously, he's won 8 out of 12, so he's pretty great. But I just think that there's a lot of other really talented horses in this race, and I just with him not finishing off the way he did last year. Like, look at what he did last year. He won by 2 1/4 lengths, and then went into the Breeders' Cup, won by 1 1/4. Well, this year he's coming in off a win by a head, and then a win where he had 3 lengths on the field, and then only won by 1.5 lengths. So I look at a horse that maybe is at the end of his career, and I think that he will get caught down the lane at Keeneland, even though he is 4 for 4 at Keeneland and he's 8 for 11 at the distance. I'm going to go with, you mentioned you think he's Wesley Ward's golden goose. Well, he's at the end of his career. I see a horse that might be going on into the future right next to him, and that's going to be Arrest Me Red. I think he's going to be my top pick. Same trainer, Wesley Ward. Now, he's coming out of that Kentucky Downs form that you talk about. He lost to Brand in that race, Andrew.
They're the same
He was
age.
What?
They're the same age.
They're the same age, but Arrest Me Red, I think, has more of a future because Golden Pal is going to go off the stud now.
It's like a running back that had 500 carries in college compared to a running back that had 150 carries, you know?
Bingo. Yeah. Like, Golden Pal's gone over to Ascot 3 times now, or Ascot twice and York once. So he's made the trip overseas, like over the ocean. Like, Arrest Me Red's just been running here in America in some lower level stakes, but he finally hit the grade 2 level this year. He won a grade 2 at Churchill at this distance. He beat Brand that day. Brand turned the table on him, but that was at Kentucky Downs, like we mentioned, Andrew. So I think Arrest Me Red is getting back to his best distance, which is 5.5 furlongs. He's 3 for 4 at the distance. And he actually led in the grade 1 Jaipur over the summer, but that's a turf sprint at 6 furlongs, not 5.5. So he actually got caught in that last half of the furlong. So I think Arrest Me Red, yes, he's not as fast as Golden Pal, but I think he's going to finish stronger than Golden Pal. And I think if Golden Pal is just a little bit off his game, I think Arrest Me Red can go get him down the lane. And then you're going to have a Wesley Ward exacta, a little exacta box action. So how about that for your golden goose, Golden Pal?
The only thing that would draw me off Golden Pal is if Platinum Queen wins on Friday, because that would really elevate Highfield Princess for me. Highfield Princess looks incredible from a Euro form, but again, I don't like European sprint form coming over to America because of they're running a straight line as opposed to turns, and it's just a different strategy. So Highfield Princess is the only other one I would consider if something translates from Platinum Queen or if there's something else I see. But honestly, 15 horses entered. This is a single for me. Golden Pal is the easiest single of the day. Easier than
start
Jackie.
your day off with an L. Kick is out of bounds. I do like Highfield Princess. I have her highlighted. She's going to be on my ticket as well. You can't ignore 3 straight grade 1 wins. Her time form ratings the last 2 times out were 126 and 125. That roughly equates to a 105 and 106 buyer. So I think Highfield Princess is an absolute potential monster. And like I said on the last race, she's a 5-year-old mare. So I think she's really hit her best form at 5. And I think she's absolutely live in this race. But I really like Highfield Princess, Arrest Me Red. And obviously I'm going to throw in Golden Pal on my ticket. But I do think he's vulnerable.
All right. Excuse me. All right, moving on to the next
Andrew,
race.
you got any? Well, I was going to ask Andrew, you got anything else?
Nothing else for race 4, but this next race 5, looks exciting.
All right. With
Okay.
that being said, race 5, the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, going 1 mile, 2 turns around the dirt. Andrew, you got some exciting news here. I'm going to put it on you then.
Oof. I got 4 studs this race. We got
All right.
and 4 different trainers. This is looking like a fun race. We got Cody's Wish coming off of a huge win over Jackie's Warrior, Billy Mott. We got Cyberknife. We got the Cox Juice going, kind of, is he still good? Is he still good? Is he still going to make it? His last few L's have been to really good horses. You got Laurel River, my guy Bobby Baffert. Is he going to be juiced up? And then we got Gun It by Asmussen. So you got 4 horses, 4 excellent trainers. We'll see what happens.
It's like
Yeah,
the final 4. It's like Duke, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Who else? Kansas and
Yeah, we should put on
North Carolina.
We should put on the Final Four music.
Yeah, those horses are 9-2, 9-2, 5-2, and 7-2. So
You
those
want me
are
to
the four- those are the
you want
four
me to make a
favorites.
pick on that? It's almost impossible.
Wait, before we go any further, Mike, what was the odds on a Rescue Red real quick? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. Hold on.
Just scroll back a little quick.
I'm scrolling. 15-1.
Ooh, whoo-hoo, bear run.
Bingo.
Ooh, man,
All
my
right.
day might start out with some money.
All right, John. Of those 4 horses, are you picking one of those 4?
Go ahead, Andrew. Play it.
Can you hear that?
That's high quality.
All right.
That's
that
how
was
we
all
avoid
fuzzy.
YouTube
That
taking
sounded
the
like
video
crap.
down.
So I think my number 1 is going to be Cody's Wish, just because his last race over Jackie's Warrior, 1 mile. I think he could get it done. Also, I think I'm going to kind of fade Cyberknife out of there. And I think I like Laurel River getting second there.
Andrew, I have to say you absolutely nailed that handicapping job.
Let's go. Let's go.
You nailed it. So when I saw the field, I knew exactly how I wanted to bet this race. And then I had one other horse kind of pop up to me. I always knew I was going to fade Cyberknife. Actually, let me start. So let me just start with the dirt mile real quick. This race, you love to see a super talented horse that is going to go on next year and possibly win a Pegasus World Cup and maybe go on to like the Breeders' Cup Classic next year. You want to see a horse that's progressing as an animal, not a horse that has kind of hit its peak and then is cutting back in distance. And that's kind of what Cyberknife is doing, right? Like Cyberknife, he won the Grade 1 in the Haskell. He ran in the Travers, Pennsylvania Derby, but his speed figures are decreasing, right?
Yeah,
He's cutting
yeah.
back. Like, is he actually going the right way? So I don't like Cyberknife at all. Throw him out. Now, I teased it at the beginning. So the only difference between me and you, Andrew, is that I totally agree with you. Cody's Wish beating Jackie's Warrior. He's ascending. He's stretching out in distance from 7 furlongs to a mile. And I think next year, Bill Mott is probably going to want to send him to like the Pegasus World Cup, mile and an eighth, maybe into some mile and a quarter races. But Laurel River, this is my Bob Baffert pick of the day. I hate to say it, but this horse is a potential monster. I know he ran the 108 Buyer and won a 7 furlong Grade 2 over in Del Mar, but I was watching that day, and Bob Baffert was, when they interviewed him in the winner's circle, the first thing he said about Laurel River was that he wanted to race him in the Pacific Classic against Flightline. He's like, that was his first, that was his first inkling, was to race him against Flightline, but he chose against it because you could see he had like a year-long layoff from September 21 to July of 22. And so he started him out at a mile, just an optional claimer. And so instead of going all the way to face Flightline, he gave him the easier path to the Pat O'Brien. And you could see the horse ran a 108. And then, and I actually watched his workout on October 22nd, that bullet workout. Like, I mean, he beat the workmate by like 4 lengths, and like the jockey was like holding him back. Like, the horse looks like an absolute monster. Like, and I think this is another, like Cody's Wish, like he's going from 7 furlongs to a mile. He looks like an absolute freak. And I think this is just a jumping off point to next year when he's going to be like Pacific, Pegasus World Cup, maybe Dubai World Cup, and then on that route. So those are my top 2 choices, Laurel River, Cody's Wish. I personally prefer Laurel River, but Cody's Wish could absolutely win it as well.
All right. Fading Laurel River. I don't like it. I don't like Laurel River.
Mike, I'm the Bob Baffert hater, man, and I'm telling you, this horse is gonna be a monster.
That's a flag. That's a kick out of bounds.
No,
because I've got a monster in here that I'm gonna lay it all on the line for him. John, I'm gonna need you to turn around real quick, point to our guy.
Oh,
Tyler
Gaffleone.
Tyler Gaffleone on Gunite, number 5, coming off of 4 straight 100+ buyers, including a 3 3/4 length win here at Keeneland last week. In like he raced October 22nd, and he's running it back in the Breeders' Cup because it was such an easy race. He won he had 106 buyer, won by almost 4 lengths, and he's running it back in 2 weeks. That's incredible. Like Asmussen must see something here. It's a gun runner in a mile race. This horse is going to go insane. This Gunite's going to win. Cody's Wish is going to get second. Laurel River is going to finish in the river in 7th place.
You're gonna kill it and drag it to the river. Jesus,
he's going to be in a van down by the river.
he's going to be the Tennessee goalpost being thrown in the river. That's my ice cold exacta there. Gunite over Cody's Wish. The only other horse in here that I really like, I hate Cyberknife with all of my being. I've hated him all year long. I don't think he can win here. I like Simplification. He's 15-1. I'd rather take him, who, he's run fine. He's not winning. He's not getting close. He's a grinder. He's going to get up for 3rd.
He might get up for 3rd.
That's my trifecta there, is Gunite over Cody's Wish over Simplification. And that's all I have to say about this dirt mile.
Yeah, I mean, Gunite was my 3rd choice. He was the one that I wasn't expecting to like, and then for all the reasons you just said, Mike, when I saw those buyers, and then he's coming back in 2 weeks. Like Asmussen never does that. So he sees something in him, and also this is his first time around 2 turns, which is also another angle because he's only raced at a mile one other time, but that was the Champagne at Belmont, which is a 1-turn mile. So first time at 2 turns, he might love it. We don't know. He might be a monster. So definitely got to include Gunite.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that last race, the Perryville, he's just pulling away from them. Like he hits the stretch.
It was a terrible. I mean, look, it was a bad field, but he won that race like a grade 1 animal. So I think those big 3 that we just mentioned are like, one of them is absolutely going to win this race, right?
Yeah, and the race that he lost, the H. Allen Jerkins, he lost to Jack Christopher. The Jack Christopher would be the easy favorite in this race if he was here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. So Gunite is our boy. Oh, Andrew's going for the 3rd bottle of wine of the night.
Second.
What are they, like little ones?
No, these are big boys, baby. It's got a pig on it. A little Tempranillo.
All right. Let's move on to the next race. Race number 6. The Maker's Mark Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf. Going 1 mile and 3/16 on the turf for fillies and mares. Big tough race. John, let's kick it off to you first. Where are you at?
Love me some Maker's Mark, that's for sure. Although I think we'll be drinking Buffalo Trace on Saturday, right? Horse Guy Mike, you got something for me over there?
I got it right here. Let me grab it for you.
Yeah, let me see my bottle. For everyone at home, Horse Guy Mike was out somewhere, and he I think it was at Total Wine, and they had Buffalo Trace ready. There we go.
You making juleps out of those, or drinking it straight, neat on the rocks?
All of it, all of the above.
All of the above. I love it.
I actually have some little preview. I have some mint simple syrup in my fridge right now. So vanilla mint simple syrup. So we can definitely do that. So getting back to the race here, this is a tough race. All these turf races are very tough because you got the Euros coming in, you got the Chad Browns and all the USA horses. With that being said, I'm going Euro in the filly and mare turf here with my top pick. I think another thing I noticed specifically this race, what I noticed was interesting. There's a lot of 3-year-olds coming from Europe. I think that means their 3-year-old like crop was really strong out there, because it seems like, sometimes you get older horses, but I don't know, all 3-year-olds. And the one that I like in particular is going to be Tuesday. Great name for Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore. This horse, you might look at the form and say, Mike, what are the odds on her, by the way?
Tuesday is 8-1.
Oh, perfect. Right in the wheelhouse. So yeah, you look at the form, she's coming out of 2 grade 1s where she got 6th and 4th, but only beaten by 2.5 lengths and 1.5 lengths. And then before that, she got 2nd by 1 length and another grade 1. So she's not winning, but she's also running pretty well. And then what I like is that if you look at specifically the races where she runs left-handed turns, like she's going to be doing at Keeneland, she got 2nd in a grade 1 and she won a grade 1 when she runs left-handed turns. And then even before that, she won a stakes race in Ireland on the left-handed turn. So why not a little left-handed turn Tuesday, 8-1. And she also, like, the last 2 races were on soft. I think she likes a little firmer. She likes good turf, and that's what she's going to get at Keeneland. So throw those last 2 out. I think she's going to run a much better time form. Her time form was 1:15 last time she ran on good. I think she'll be something closer to that.
All right. Tuesday, top choice for John. Andrew, where are you at?
You know what? I sort of hate these long turf races. I hate them. I don't like them. But I've noticed Chad Brown has 3. Does he have 3 in this race? Maybe even more.
Yeah, I think he has
At least
3.
there's 3. I'm liking these speed figs from In Italian, but then I'm looking at how far he's raced. He's only a mile horse, and this is more than 3/16.
Mm-hmm.
So why is he doing that? He's trying to.
She's a total front runner, so
Yeah,
he's going to have her in the race to speed up the pace, and then he's got 2 late runners behind her.
That's what I'm thinking. He's going to set the pace within Italian, even though he's got good numbers. So then I'm going to try to hit the 9 or 10. Rogire or Virginia Joy. These ones have raced longer distances, good speed figs, have won G2s. I think the 9, what is it? Rogire?
Rogier.
It's not a
Yeah,
podcast.
she's
Not a podcast,
she's from
it's
France.
Butcher.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I bet on her actually going into last year's Breeders' Cup. I bet on her in that race in France, where she got first place at like 20-1 odds. It was amazing.
Sounds
the Prix de
awesome.
l'Opera.
Little Flavian Pratt. And then Irad's riding Virginia Joy. So I think I'm going to play those 2, the 9 and 10. Chad Brown. I'm paying the Chad Brown tax. Even though these are pretty.
Mike, do you have any notes on these 2 horses? Because I could talk a little bit about them.
About the Chad Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Virginia Joy. That's my top pick here. And it's one reason and one reason only. She beat Warlike Goddess last out, and Warlike Goddess would be the favorite here. Warlike Goddess I think she's a second choice in the regular turf.
Warlike Goddess is a fantastic horse.
Yeah,
I like Warlike Goddess in that race.
And for Virginia Joy beat her straight up. So I think you're right about In Italian. She's going to be a rabbit. I think she can win though. I mean, there's literally no speed in this race.
Yeah, like if it's.
I wouldn't say that. Lady Spitesphere can go to the front.
She can, yeah. I just think In Italian is going to have a super easy lead. She might just walk the dog all the way around. Could happen. I like In Italian. The only thing that, like you said, that is the distance. She's never gone this far before, so that could hit her. She could just hit a wall, no matter how slow she's going. And I think Virginia Joy is going to be the next up. I'm not a huge fan of any of the non-Chad, non-Euro horses. None of them have a shot. This race is always won by either a Euro horse or a Chad Brown. So you can just toss.
I got a little long shot.
Do you like how about the favorite in this horse, Mike? The Euro Nashua?
Nashua. Yeah, she's fine. I'd rather go with Chad. Like, I think Chad has a better stranglehold on this division here.
Why'd you say
Um,
stranglehold?
Oh man, that was a Freudian slip. Chad, I'm sorry if you're watching this. Didn't mean it. Didn't mean it.
Andrew said it.
Mike meant
No,
it.
Nashua is very good. I mean, those the time form figures are excellent.
Well,
It's
what's Nashua's best time for him? It's a 1:14.
yeah,
What's Tuesday's
114
best time for him? What's Tuesday's best time for him? A 1:15. What? A what? A what?
is 115, but then they faded. I don't know. And Nashua has beat Tuesday.
Tuesday ran against the males, by the way. Forgot to mention that in the Irish Derby. The Irish Derby.
I don't know. It's a tough race, so I think you take a stand. You either go Euro or you go Chad. I'm going to go Chad. I'm going to go Virginia Joy and in Italian as my top two choices.
I like,
Just because, you know, Virginia Joy is very good, and in Italian could get an easy lead and just go all the way around.
yeah, I might have to keep in Italian on my ticket.
Yeah, I would be sick if in Italian gets on the lead and slows it way down. All right, I got a few things to say about these Chads, though. So in Italian, yes, I'm fading her because I do think she's going too far for how she likes to run. The only way she can win is if she gets that easy lead and slows it way down. And with that being said, Mike, the only reason Virginia Joy beat Warlike Goddess is because she did exactly that. This horse, it has absolutely no early pace. And then for whatever reason in that Flower Bowl, she got on the lead and ran a 53-1 half mile and a 119-2 3/4, dude. It was and 145 for a mile. Like, it was the slowest pace of all time. And she was able to hold off Warlike Goddess by a neck. So, and actually, if you look, she's actually cutting back in distance off of that race. Virginia Joy is. So she's going to be way back in the field. I don't like her, but I do like Rougier because Rougier seems like a horse that likes the 1.25 mile type of trip, which is what we're getting here, which is going to be a little bit less than 1.25 miles. So I would include Rougier. I think she's got an outside chance to improve. But like I said, I like Tuesday. Nashua, I feel like Nashua likes the softer turf, but she might be an include. But I also want to throw in Above the Curve. She almost won a grade 1 last time out. She won a grade 1 earlier in May. There's a lot of options in this race. I haven't kind of like Moira all the way to the outside.
I think I'm going to do the Chad Brown trifecta.
All right. Well, anyway, I don't like that.
This is a deep race, especially when you're going to be singling Golden Pal and then, you know, going too deep with Gunite and Cody's Wish. I have the luxury to spread here. So, yeah, great race.
Let me just say one thing about Moira, 3-year-old. She's only raced one turf race in her life, and she actually got second by a neck, and she almost won, but then she got disqualified to 8th. So she might be the truth. Second time on turf, she might improve off of that.
That's true. All right, moving on to race number 7, the Breeders' Cup Sprint, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. Another easy single here, or not. Jackie's Warrior. Andrew, kicking off to you.
You just put my brain in a pretzel saying easy single. I'm not seeing an easy single. I'm not seeing it. I like who's the easy single? Is it Kamari or is it Jackie's Warrior? Because I like them both. I like them both. Both very strong. Let's go to Kamara's on the inside too, which is very good. Yeah, what has he won? 2 straight G2s, 106, 110. Brisnet. Jackie's Warrior is a stud though. Stud.
Yeah, John.
Yeah. So Jackie's, I'll piggyback off that because Kamari's my girl. I've been betting her for like 3 years now, and I love that Wesley Ward brought her into the male sprint, not the female, because she's better at 6 furlongs. She's 2 for 2 at the distance. I just think that because Kamari likes to run late, she likes it when it's a little bit faster pace, and the 6 furlongs obviously being shorter, the horses run a little bit faster at the beginning. So I think she's definitely going to hit the board. I don't know if she's going to get up to beat Jackie's Warrior, though. I think Jackie's Warrior looks pretty solid in here, if only for the fact that there's literally zero early pace in here other than like maybe Super Ocho, a Chilean horse. I mean, other than that, literally all of these other horses like to run late.
Does that
And
help? Does that help Kamari?
No.
well, I think it helps Kamari in the fact that she's going to be like maybe in third place early.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's not going to have to clear like 6 horses. You know, Jackie's Warrior is going to be out there, maybe one other horse, and then Kamari could be in third and finish up strong. Now, the whole question with Jackie's Warrior, you know, he got caught last time by Cody's Wish, and like kind of like Golden Pal, you know, he's had a long career. This is his last race, and he's kind of been fading in the stretch. You know, he hasn't been finishing off his races, so I think he's going to get an easy lead out there. But you look at that Vanderbilt earlier in the summer, like he had a 4-length lead, and then he only won by 2 lengths. And that was kind of a precursor to what happened to the loss in the Forgo. So, you know, is Jackie's Warrior going to finish it off with a win? Like he's got the best pace scenario possible, but I would include, or I would maybe do like one of these exactas where you go Kamari, and I also like Aloha West, and then play that with Jackie's Warrior and then do a box that way. And then, so, you know, maybe in case one of them runs him down, you still get paid.
I disagree. Jackie's Warrior is another easy single. I know it's like it seems very chalky.
Like hitting that chalk bell.
No, and I'm getting chalky with certain races where I feel the need to get chalky, where I can, you know, go skinny.
Everyone's gonna be, dude. Jackie's Warrior is gonna be like 3 to 5 odds, man.
Breeders' Cup is never chalky.
And Jackie's Warrior is 0 for 2 in the Breeders' Cup. Never won a Breeders' Cup race. For whatever reason, he never gets it done. I saw him last year at Del Mar. He looked amazing. He was coming in like a beast. And then he got hooked in a speed duel somehow. So you just never know, man.
He's Matole light, and he's gonna win. I don't like any other horses. I don't like Kamari at all in any race ever.
What? Kamari's coming off a 106 and a 105 buyer, 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, she's not consistent because she races at a different distance every time. She races on dirt, she races on turf, she races against boys, she races against girls. Like, just pick something and be good at it. I don't.
It's like Shohei Ohtani. He's so good.
She does. She wins at everything, Mike.
Yeah, she also loses at everything because she's not consistent. Like she has 2 wins, but before there was a 5th, a 3rd, a win, a 7th, a win, a 3rd, a 2nd. Like, just be consistent.
I mean, she's got 9 wins out of 16 careers, so she's over 50%. She's a 5-year-old. Remember that angle, 5-year-old mare. She's hit, you know, these triple-digit buyers for the first time in her life. She's 5 now. I think she's in her best form. I think it's a great pick, Andrew.
Like, I'd rather take someone like Elite Power, who's coming off of 4 straight wins, 101 buyer by 5 1/4 length. Will Mott, Irad Ortiz. I'd rather take someone like that as a potential challenge.
I mean,
what about the 4-horse American Theorem?
Yeah.
So this horse was out in Del Mar and had a big win in that grade 1. But then he got smoked by Laurel River the next time out. I think he caught a nice field in that grade 1, and I think he just had his day that day. I don't think he's progressing necessarily.
The Laurel River is the next big thing.
I think Laurel River is going to be a monster next year. So I'm kind of playing that angle. But Aloha West, dude, I like it. He's coming in off a 99 buyer in a win at Churchill. That was back in July, but he's fired 2 bullets, so I think he's doing good. I think he's definitely a horse that could potentially have the same. He might be like Jackie's Warrior stinks in the Breeders' Cup, and Aloha West won the race last year. Maybe Aloha West is just, he shows up in the big Breeders' Cup races, you know, big time player.
Maybe he just likes the West Coast. I don't know.
Can't discount him.
You can't. All right. Any other thoughts on the sprint?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think it's as chalky as you think it's going to be. That's my thought.
I think Kamara has a chance.
I think Jackie is incredible, and if Cody's Wish does really well in the race beforehand, you got to hammer Jackie even more. Because even his loss, like he has 1 loss this year, he's still got a 109 buyer in it.
And you didn't even pick Cody's Wish in that race. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah, he'll get 2nd. I got him going 2nd.
Come on, man.
All right, moving on to race number 8. The Breeders' Cup Mile, wide open, going 1 mile on the turf. John. Good luck.
Yeah.
Where are you at with this one?
Yeah, I know. Trying to handicap this race, just my head is spinning right now. I'm like that gif of Galifianakis in The Hangover when he's got like all the math equations just like floating around his head. That's me. That's me trying to handicap this race. I'm not confident. My confidence level is a 0 in this pick, but I highlighted Pogo, the 1. I've heard some good things about this horse. Like he likes to get out on the lead in these European races. He's coming off a grade 2 win over in Newmarket in the UK at 7 furlongs. Now that's a straight sprint. And when it says made all, that means he basically went gate to wire. So if he's on the rail on the inside of Keeneland and he can win at a 7 furlong straight sprint over in Europe, maybe the 2 turns can help him out. He'll be on the lead, and then he could kind of save his energy around the turns and go gate to wire. Now, I don't know, Mike, what are his odds?
You said
Probably
Pogo?
not great. Yeah,
20
number
to-
1.
20 to 1.
Yeah, see, so I mean, I think he's got a chance. I don't love him as a top pick, but what can you do? I mean, there's other horses I like in here too we could talk about, but Pogo, long shot, why not? Gate to wire type of horse.
All right. Andrew, who's your top choice here?
Once again, this was a very, very tough one. Gosh, I don't even know, man. Annapolis won here last month in Turf Mile, G1, but over Ivar, the 6 horse. Don't love him. I don't know. I might go Modern Games, a European horse, which I don't really do. Charles Appleby, Chucky. But yeah.
Yeah, so Appleby last year, we said it in the previous pod, he won like 3 Breeders' Cup races last year. And this was one of his horses. Modern, you could see on the form last year, he won the juvenile turf, and then he came back and won the Woodbine Mile. So he does pretty great when he comes to America, but he's not so great when he's over in Europe. Now he is racing in all grade 1 races, and he's, usually within a couple lengths. So he's definitely like a logical choice in here for sure. And I saw him on the track. Yeah, what's that?
He's got the highest prime power for this race, and
Yeah. He's definitely like the on paper looks like the favorite. But I don't know, who knows if he's truly like a beast or not. He's not really winning over in Europe.
I have to take 1 European though for the Breeders' Cup, so this might be my 1 European for the Breeders'
Got
Cup.
to. They usually dominate in the Breeders' Cup.
What are you thinking, horse guy Mike?
Yeah, I mean, Modern Games is probably going to win. You're going to get that Appleby tax because Modern Game also won last year.
Chalk guy Mike.
No, not my top pick. My top pick's Annapolis.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to Annapolis.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the horse you won on. You picked him to win last month. You're sucked in.
I did. I picked Annapolis to win. I've liked this horse for a long time. This horse was going to be in the Breeders' Cup last year. Was a late scratch, couldn't make it. Was coming off 2 wins. I was excited to bet him. He had a scratch, didn't enter. Was excited to see him come back. Got second in the Saratoga Derby. I bet him. No, the Saranac, and then at Keeneland in the Turf Mile, won both of those. 97 buyer and 103 buyer, improving. So again, has won at Keeneland, won the local prep, is improving. As a 3-year-old colt on the right proper progressions. Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz, good connections, local horse. This is, I don't know. This is a wide open race. The fact that I'm getting 10 to 1 on this horse, I love it. I think I'll get it because all these Euros are going to take a ton of money, especially Modern Games. I'd love to put money on Modern Games, but I don't think with this level of field, him coming over here for the first time that for a while, I don't know. I just can't trust it. I'd rather take a chance at Annapolis. If I'm making my pick 5 or pick 4 ticket, I'll throw Modern Games on there, but Annapolis is my top choice. The other one I like is Regal Glory, another Keeneland favorite, 6 to 1. She dominated her division until the end of the year. So those are my top 2 actually. Annapolis and Regal Glory.
Do either of you like domestic spending at all?
No,
He hasn't
No.
raced in a
no
year.
way. He's in the far outside post too. Like, so in these turf miles, dude, that far outside is so bad.
Yeah.
Annapolis being in the 11 post is not what I like to see. Domestic spending hasn't raced in like 12 months or 13, 14 months. And it sucks because I'm going to have to throw out Kinross as well. I mean, this horse has won 4 in a row, 2 grade 1s in a row. But actually, when you really look at it, they're kind of actually cutting him back in distance. He went from 7 to 6 furlongs. So, maybe they think he's more of a sprinter and they're just trying something here. So Kinross is going to be a tough toss for me. I'm actually, Andrew, I'm just going straight Euro in this race now, the more that I look at it. I just think that
this race
Yeah.
is so tough. It feels like a Euro race.
Yeah, it does. I had Ivar highlighted, but because he does like Keeneland, but I don't know if he's got the juice to keep up with some of these. Like Modern Games looks super tough. I mean, a 112 buyer at Woodbine. Dream Loper won a grade 1 at a mile last time out by 5.5 lengths. You don't win by 5.5 lengths on the turf unless you're doing some serious work. And he got a 123 time form for that. So I think you got to include Dream Loper, especially with the inside post. Like I said, Pogo's up there. So I like the 1, the 3, the 4, and then I think there was one more. Oh yeah, and then one long shot European horse that you might want to look at is Malava, our guy Gaff Leone. Getting the ride on a European turf horse is pretty interesting because Gaff Leone loves Keeneland. He's very good at the track, and this horse got second to Kinross in that grade 1 at 7 furlongs. So. Maybe Gaff Leone can work out some a magical trip for Malavath. So, what are the odds on Malavath, Mike?
That was like 20 to 1. Maybe
Okay, another long shot.
The handicapping for this race is the Euro step.
Yeah,
It's gonna be Euro step.
Yeah,
15 to 1.
yeah. So I think I'm just going straight European because they usually bring their best horses out for this race and the big turf race. So hey, Dream Loper is a 5-year-old mare, so maybe she's hitting her best form at 5. That's kind of my overarching handicapping angle this time.
All right. Any other thoughts on the turf mile?
I think we went over about more like 80% of the field.
This is probably the toughest race of the 2 days for me.
All right.
How do you guys feel about throwing out like the Kinross and domestic spending because they're far outside?
I like it. I'm not going to choose them. I think Annapolis at 11 is nervous, but I still like the horse a lot. But any further is bad. All right, moving on to race number 9, the Distaff. Going a mile and an eighth. We got a couple superstars clashing heads here. Favoritism on Nest, the 3-year-old filly, going against the 4-year-old superstar Malathat. Also got Clairiere, Secret Oath, Search Results. So two legit superstars, 2 other ones that are kind of contenders, and then the rest of them are a bunch of donkeys. Andrew, which of the 2 superstars do you want?
I feel like you said the wrong 2 superstars. Is Nest even a superstar? Because he's out of there. He's gone out of my board.
Do you not know what a filly is, Andrew?
What?
Do you not know what a filly is? It's a female.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying Nest isn't a superstar and she's out.
You said he. You keep saying he. I think you
whatever.
misgendered
Horse guy
everything.
Mike wants to Horse guy Mike is going to beat you down for this on Saturday.
Oh, you got me. Mike's
You're gonna be betting Flightline with a black eye. That's all I'm saying.
Mike's too woke for this.
All right, Nest is out.
Nest is whatever sex she chooses to be, Mike. Get it right.
Yeah. I call everyone he. I call everyone dude. I call everyone
We
guy.
should just start calling them they and it. What are their pronouns? What are these horses' pronouns? All right, they need to start getting that in the PPs.
Yeah. Everyone in Kentucky's head's just gonna explode. The pick 5 pulls are gonna be like $20 instead of $1 million. But anyway, all right. Nest is gone because I don't like who she's beat. Secret Oath a couple times. Like, is that even good? I don't even know. You tell me. I don't think it is.
Not for this level.
Not for this level. And I like Malatats, who they've beat, who they've raced against, and I like Clairiere as well, who they've, Iron sharpens
Mhm.
iron. Iron sharpens iron. And then the 8-horse society, that last race got me sweating. I don't know if you can see me. I'm sweating right now. 109 G1 beat Secret Oath by like 20 lengths or something like that. Where Ness is barely beating it. Ness. So what I'm doing, fading Ness, unless you guys could convince me. I like Molitot, Clairiere, and Society. Probably Molitot on top.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah, Andrew, you're on once again, man. You're on the right path, dude.
I'm on a roll.
You are seeing the light, my man.
I'm on the juices
Molithot
milk.
has been Mike. I always bet on Molithot, and she doesn't always win, but good Lord, like she's literally hit the board in every single race in her life. She's won $2.75 million. And Andrew, you probably didn't know this, but to speak on the Molithot versus Ness thing, they're both trained by Todd Pletcher. And Pletcher actually worked them in. He worked them together on the track. What date was it? That would have been it would have been October 21st at Keeneland. I think they both had the same time. They both had the same time in the form, but like if you saw it visually, Molithot was on the rail and she was holding off Ness like it was nothing. Like the trainer on Ness or the rider actually had to kind of like push her to keep up. So even though Molithot only beat her by like a head in the workout, like it was way better than it looked. So I think Molithot is coming into this race like on her absolute A game. And I think she's a great pick. And speaking on that, Clairiere has beat Molithot a couple times this summer.
Yep.
Now they're only racing in 4- and 5-horse fields, so that has something to do with it. But another thing I saw on the morning show is that Steve Asmussen himself was riding the pony horse when Clairiere did her workout. He literally he was on the horse and came over and like walked her off the track. And later on they interviewed him and he said that he expects Clairiere to run the best race of her life. So I think Steve Asmussen tipped his hand big time that Clairiere is live and she's going to get it done. So I really love the Clairiere Molithot exacta box in this. Look, I picked Nest in the Belmont. I think she was live on that day. She lost. She got second, but like Andrew, to your point, she hasn't really beaten much, and I don't know how good she is. I think she is a little bit overrated, so I think it's a good time to fade Nest. And your pick with Society is also a good one. I think Society by Gun Runner, she's getting better as she's getting a little bit older in her 3-year-old year. I think she's also live, but I definitely have those top 2 choices, 1, 2, and I haven't decided if I'm going to use Society yet or not.
Who's your number 1, John?
Oh God, I want to pick Molithot again, but I always pick her, and I just got this gut feeling that Clairiere is just coming in. Like she's coming off that 90 buyer, but she was fractious in the gate. You could just cross that one out, and I think when the trainer says he expects her to run the best race of her life, you listen and you bet.
That's HOFer Steve Asmussen.
Yeah. And Jackie's Warrior worked out at the same time that Clairiere did. And he went over to Clairiere, not Jackie's Warrior. Think about that.
John, you and I are on the same page today. Clairiere, top choice here. She's beat Molithot. She's better than Molithot. Only reason she lost last race, like you said, she was fractious in the gate. She literally slammed her face against the gate rail and her tongue was bleeding. Like you can read it in the notes. Like she was bleeding, bitter tongue. Just wasn't her race. You know, you draw a line through that one, and she's beat Molithot back to back 2 times. Had another race where she won. She lost to Latruska, who was in prime form when she's not anymore. She's working out with Epicenter as work companions, and Epicenter's a monster. Asmussen loves her. Yeah, I think this is going to be Clairiere's race. The only thing I don't like about Clairiere, or don't like about Clairiere and Molithot in this race, is that Nest is going to be closer than them to finish this. There's not a lot of speed, and Nest likes to sit in that mid pack. She's not a true like dead last closer. Clairiere is, I'm going to drop 10 lengths behind this field and then just make one big run. That's her style. Nest is not like that. Nest can be strategically placed. She's an EP8. She can be right near the front. She can be kind of mid-pack, make big moves. She's more versatile. I love Nest. I picked her in every single filly race this year. I just don't like her at the price of 9-5 going against olders for the first time. There's a good chance she could be good enough, be like Monomoy Girl and just destroy the older horses for the first time she faces them. But not the first time. She won the her
Monomoy
last
Girl
race.
also lost her Breeders' Cup, her last Breeders' Cup race.
Yeah, but she won at 3.
Yeah.
So I don't want to leave Nest off. My ticket's going to be Clarier and Nest. But I want it
Once again, you're fading Molithot.
I am, and it's worked for me
Dude,
every time.
not every time because she's won her last 2 Grade 1 races, but
I didn't bet her those races. Right, I bet against her.
oh well,
Anyway.
well, all right, well then that's you. That's on you then. But I think I'll be damned if I don't mention Blue Stripe because she is a half sister to a horse named Blue Prize, who, speaking of Monomoy Girl, I believe Blue Prize beat Monomoy Girl in a big upset. And Blue Stripe is a 5-year-old.
You're thinking of Midnight. You're thinking of Midnight Bisou.
Okay, Midnight. Yeah, it was one of those races where all of a sudden this horse named Blue Prize came out and just won at the wire. And Blue Stripe related to that horse out of the same mother. Now she only ran a 92 buyer, but she did win a Grade 1 out in Del Mar last time out. And she's a 5-year-old mare, and we know that's my angle for this Breeders' Cup. So I think Blue Stripe is going to be, instead of Society, I'm going Blue Stripe as kind of my third underdog choice. But you never know, man. She's coming in good form, and she might spring an upset. That's kind of what the Breeders' Cup is all about.
All right. So moving on to the next race number 10, the Breeders' Cup Turf, going 1.5 miles on the turf track. A lot of Euros. Got some Chad Brown in here as well. Got some aged horses in here, to say the least. Some old classics. Andrew, I'll kick it to you first. Who is your top choice in this race?
Top choice is not going to be an old classic, Chanel Maker. Not doing it.
Yeah, don't do that.
We're going the 2-horse Warlike Goddess. Just won a G1 over Bye Bye Melvin. Huge speed figure. I'm locked into this horse. What do you guys think?
I got the 10% warning on my phone, so we gotta wrap this up rather quickly, guys. But I'm with you, Andrew. I like Warlike Goddess as my top pick. I think America is going to take it this year. Again, my favorite angle. She's a 5-year-old mare. Bill Mott just raced her against the boys at Aqueduct in that Turf Classic, and she won with a 105 buyer. I watched that race, and she won that race so easily. Like, she straight just galloped around the entire field like it was nothing, and she won by almost 3 lengths. So I think she's coming in perfect form. She's got a nice inside post, so she can just sit on the rail. And then as long as Rosario finds a clean trip for her, I think she's going to be very tough to beat. And I don't think the Euros brought the strongest form over. Like, Rebels Romance looks like the toughest one. And yeah, he's won, 4 races in a row, but they're all by diminishing margins. And he won 2 Grade 1s in Germany, which, usually isn't the best competition. So I think Warlike Goddess is going to be my pick in here.
All right. My top pick, I am going Euro. Finally picking Charles Appleby, what number are you?
Nation's Pride.
Yeah, Nation's Pride. I still can't see what number you are. Number 7. Coming off back-to-back wins here. One at Belmont, one at Saratoga. Also got a 2nd place at Belmont earlier in the year, where Classic Causeway just went wire and wire. No one else had a shot in that race, but Nation's Pride went from 12th, 9th, all the way up to 2nd. So out of all the horses in that race, they were the one that had a big run at the end, and then came with back-to-back wins after that. Won a bunch in Europe. Had 4 straight wins. Ran the Epsom Derby, Group 1 race. It's a huge race over there. Just the fact that you're running in that's big.
Got 8 by 13 lengths.
Yeah, I mean, those are good horses.
Yeah.
But yes, he got beat pretty bad. Came over to America, tried the turf triple crown, got second and won the other two legs. So went 2 for 3 in the turf triple crown. Charles Appleby has stayed in America, so has had time to acclimate. I think Nation's Pride is going to be my top choice over Rebels Romance. They're similar price. Rebels Romance is 3-1. Nation's Pride is 7-2. Warlike Goddess is 9-2. So
I love that price.
they're all
Another angle I just saw. Warlike Goddess is 2 for 2 winning at Keeneland, and she's 5 for 5 winning at 1.5 miles.
it's not bad.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, a horse like Broom is good. I mean, aged 6 years old. This horse has been a knocker forever. Same with a horse like Channel Maker, who's 8 years old. Mishriff isn't old.
I love to see Mishriff in there, man. He's an old champion from years past, but
yeah,
he's definitely past his prime.
He's only 5, but yeah, he's definitely past his prime. Like I remember last year, he won the Saudi Cup, and then he won the Golden Shaheem, or like the Shahima Classic. Like he won on dirt and he won on turf. So he's a great horse, and if he went back to his prime form, where he's running 129 time forms, no one.
Yeah, he'd be right up there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not that horse anymore. Red Knight, another 8-year-old horse. It's like, why are these horses here? You're not going to win with an 8-year-old gelding in the breeders'.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's the strongest field this year, and that's why I think Warlike Goddess has a real shot to take it for America. Because usually the Europeans win this race just because their top level horses are so much better. But I don't think we got any of them this year, so I'm ready to give it a shot with her.
All right, so you're going Warlike Goddess. Andrew, you said you were going with
Warlike Goddess
Warlike
and I like
Goddess.
Rebel Romance underneath. I might do a little exacta box, but I like Warlike Goddess a little more.
All right, and I got Nation's Pride. All right, moving on to the big final race. This one shouldn't take long at all. Race number 11, the Breeders' Cup Classic, going 1.25 miles on the dirt. Heavy favoritism on the greatest horse of all time, Flightline. John, are you?
Yeah.
How are you? Let's not say, because obviously you're picking Flightline. How are you going to bet this? Are you singling him? Are you just begging?
Obviously singling him in a. I'm starting to think I might hammer a big daily double now on Warlike Goddess into Flightline. I mean, hit that thing for like $25. I mean, that might pay pretty nice.
Are you going to do any kind of like win bet action on him?
No, I mean, it depends how my gambling's going and how the day's going. Obviously, you're going to single him in your pick 5s, pick 4, pick 6, whatever. But definitely, I'm going to try to hit some exotics with him. I think that's the best way to play it. Just key Flightline on top. And just, I want to speak, like his workout that he had at Keeneland was so perfect. Like he was just going so smooth and just cruising. And I think he got like a 1 minute flat. He was 4th out of 62. So basically a bullet work. And like, it looked like he wasn't even trying. I mean, he was just jogging. So he's going to put it to Life is Good. He's going to run Life is Good down. Like Life is Good might be out on a 1-length lead or whatever. And then Flightline will just get up around him, around the turn and just put him away. So with that being said, the horse that I like behind Flightline because I think Life is Good will be on the lead and then fade. He doesn't really finish off his races that great. I think, Mike, your guy, Hot Rod Charlie.
That's the wrong guy.
Second place here.
That's the wrong guy.
Breeders' Cup. No, you've got to go back to your roots, horse guy Mike. Don't forget your roots. Hot Rod Charlie, Gaff Leon. He's coming off 3 straight 100+ buyers, a second, a third, and a first. The guy is doing great, and he's going to sit back off the pace. He's going to let those two duke it out in front, and he's just going to pick up the pieces. He's going to pass Life is Good and get into second. I might play that straight exacta Flightline over Hot Rod Charlie. Play that for $25 and see how it pays for you.
All right, Andrew, what are your thoughts here?
My first thought when you did the intro to this Breeders' Cup Classic, you said the greatest horse of all time. I thought you were going to say Hot Rod Charlie because that's your horse, Mike.
He was my horse last year.
He's been your horse for 2 years. For 2 years, Mike, and you're going to throw him in the trash like that?
I know, disgusting.
Year and a half.
Disgusting behavior. But no, Flightline, of course, on top. One of the goats. But when I intro this podcast, I reference Bob Baffert. I like Tabia coming in second. We're trying to hit some money with that, and then we're gonna go Epicenter third. So boom, 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 in order. Flightline, Tabia, Epicenter. Straight ice cold trifecta.
All right.
Probably like what, $10, $20?
Yeah. So
Yeah, if you're playing the exotics, you got to go big. You got to go like a $5
Yeah,
try
with
at
like-
least, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
yeah. So I'll probably single Flightline in my pick 5 like everyone else, just because it's a free square, but everyone's going to have them. But when it comes to betting this race on its own, Epicenter is going to be the top choice for me in every single bet I make.
What does that mean?
Do you think he could upset him?
Like,
Yes, there's only one horse in this field that even has a shot to challenge, and that's Epicenter.
Why not the one horse?
Epicenter has buried everyone he's faced.
He's facing good competition.
he buried Cyberknife, dude.
Zandon.
Zandon.
Yeah, he buried them. He had a 112 buyer last time. Like he had a 112 buyer. He's working out with the best of the best, you know, Clarier, Jackies. He's at Asmussen. He's had enough time off too, where he's not like tired. He said 70 days off, which is that sweet spot of like you're still in form, but you've had a good amount of rest. He's also has the perfect pressing style. Just Flightline and Life is Good are going to hit, like, just go wild on this. Life is Good is going to get on the lead. Flightline's going to push. They're going to burn up. They're going to go 22, 44 probably. And Life is Good is going to fade hard. We saw it in the Dubai World Cup. You know, he can't get this distance. He's going to fade.
And who got second that day?
Hot Rod Charlie did, and I had him. But Life is Good is going to fade. Epicenter is going to be fourth or fifth place behind Hot Rod Charlie. He's going to swing back. He's a better version of Hot Rod Charlie in every sense of it. Hot Rod Charlie is going to be making his run as Life is Good fades. Epicenter is going to blow right past him. Tape is going to be trying to catch all three of them. It's going to be Flightline, Epicenter going 1-2. Maybe Flightline fades because he went too hard and Epicenter passes him at the wire. Maybe not.
All right, Flightline is not going to fade in this race, dude.
You just say
He's the fastest horse I've ever seen. I mean, dude,
I'm
he
saying-
jogs. You say he's going 44, like he jogs 44, dude. Like that's
And-
not a sprint for him.
And there's a reason I'm singling him in all my multis, but there's not any value in betting. He's going to be 2-5. He's not going to be 3-5. He'll be lower than that.
What do you think Tabia is going to be?
Table will be
8-1.
Yeah, he's not going to go down any further. Like, he'll be what he is. He's also not good.
I think
like,
Taba got a bad draw. I will say that. Like being on the rail inside of Life is Good in Flightline, like he's absolutely going to get pinned in on the rail, and I don't like where he's going to
Isn't
be.
he going to come out from the back?
No.
He's more like a mid-pack guy. Like he's usually in the second flight. And I just think that's where Hot Rod Charlie, like I'm hoping Hot Rod Charlie takes that stocky position in third, you know what I mean? And Taba gets stuck on the rail. But it could very well turn out that Taba gets ahead of Hot Rod Charlie and then tips out and gets that third position. So who knows?
Epicenter is the upset pick.
Epicenter is a late closer.
Epicenter is the upset pick if I had one, but I don't.
I mean, I just do not see Flightline coming back like in a speed duel and getting burned out. Like he's just so good. I mean, dude, last race he was up like 10 lengths after 6 furlongs. Like,
It probably won't happen, but if there is a horse that's going to beat him, it's going to be Epicenter.
I guess, but I just don't think it'll happen.
It might not happen. I'd rather take a shot from like a betting and value perspective at Epicenter at 5-1 as opposed to Flightline at 2-5. I don't think the odds difference there.
I mean, I just think you're throwing your money if you bet anything other than Flightline on the top line.
That's the way I look at it.
You gotta measure like your expected value versus outcomes though. So
I think the outcome is 0%.
It's like, yeah, who's gonna?
It's like literally like 1%. I'll give you 1% chance. So you need to get like some crazy odds on Epicenter winning, which I don't think you're gonna get.
And that's fine. I think it's closer to like 80%, 20%. So
It is the Breeders' Cup. Anything could happen. These are good horses.
exactly. All right. Well, that's our time. We've been on here for a while. Y'all have any other final thoughts on Breeders' Cup Saturday?
Just don't be afraid to go against the chalk. I learned it, it's like every year I learn it the hard way. Like there's always, like last year with the 2 Japanese horses, like there's always something you don't see coming. So don't be afraid to get a little bold on the betting.
Race 5, the 1 miler, Cody's Wish, Laurel River, exact the box. It's gonna hit. Boom.
Boom. All right. Well, best of luck to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good luck Saturday and the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. May the juleps be with you.